For so many years now there has been so much controversy about whether or not Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, actually exists. I myself had seriously doubted the existence of the large and mysterious bipedal hominoid creature up until just last year, when I began helping my friend Jason search for the motherfucker that stole his dope plants. There, leading away from where Jason had been growing his dope plants, we found these massive footprints that headed off into the forest at the back of his property. So, without hesitation, I grabbed my bow, and I went to see where these footprints would lead me. After several hours of tracking through mountainous terrain, what I discovered out there was truly unimaginable. What I seen that day has left me extremely traumatized. As I tracked these footprints deeper and deeper into the forest, all of a sudden I began to hear some very strange and truly frightening noises coming from up on the ridgeline. At this point I proceeded with caution, as I had never heard anything like this ever before. There was all this grunting, breaking of branches, screaming and howling. And I won't lie to you, I was fucking terrified. So, I started to make my way up there as quietly as possible, not knowing what the fuck I was about to come across. As I got closer, I couldn't believe my eyes. There must have been at least 35 Sasquatch all going at it in a massive Bigfoot orgy. And as time went on, more and more Sasquatch started joining in on the action. There was girl on girl Sasquatch, tag team, 3-on-1, you name it, these dirty fuckers were doing it. And mark my words, you have never heard a bitch gag until you've heard a female Sasquatch getting the whole length of Mr. Bigfoot rammed right down her fat hairy pie hole. It was absolutely horrific. And this shit went on for hours and hours, until the entire mountain top was covered in yowies. It was fucking rancid. Now, I can imagine that at this point, there would be more than a few skeptics who doubt what I'm saying. Well, I just so happen to have proof. I managed to get the entire thing on film. But as the footage is way too controversial for YouTube, I can only show you guys the audio. But I warn you, it's extremely horrifying. Even a seasoned cryptozoological gynecologist would be very shocked by this shit. So, here is some of the audio from what went down on the mountain that horribly terrifying day in the mountains of Nightcap National Park, northern New South Wales, Australia. After witnessing this truly horrific display of the absolute depravity and sexual deviancy from these fucking disgusting creatures, I went back to Jason's farm to tell him about what I had just seen. But when I got there, unfortunately I found the poor bastard lying in a puddle of his own blood, completely covered from head to toe in Bigfoot jizz. Jason told me that whilst I was gone, that he was pack raped by several large homo squatch. His ass was prolapsed so badly that his sphincter was now tangled up around his ankles. I rushed Jason to the nearest hospital, where he immediately underwent emergency surgery to repair his badly torn asshole. The doctors did a truly amazing job at piecing back together his train wreckage of a poop chute. But unfortunately, Jason died a week later from a massive infection in his ass. There are very valuable lessons to be learned from all of these tragic events. Folks, never, I repeat never, go outside without a gun. Or you will end up just like Jason. So, that concludes my story of what happened that day on the mountain. You beautiful bastards and bitchesses, have yourselves a magnificent day. Peace.